Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your midday news fix for Thursday the 23rd of October. Wild winds are sweeping across the South Island, bringing widespread damage and disruption. Red wind warnings cover much of Canterbury and Marlborough, as well as Wellington and southern Wairarapa. Emergency Management Minister Mark Mitchell told Newstalk ZB's Canterbury Mornings, Canterbury's state of emergency will stay for as long as necessary.
We saw video footage from yesterday with a person in Wellington literally being blown into the street. We had the tragedy and the loss of the doctor. So, high winds can create all sorts of havoc.
Sections of State Highways 73, 7, 6 and 7A are all closed. And local Civil Defence Controller James Thompson says more closures are possible.
The messaging of avoiding non-essential travel is really important. Please do reduce your travel because closures are going to happen and it's going to be tricky out there.
Power's slowly being restored across the upper South Island after being lost to about 80,000 properties. Nelson's heavily impacted, including its hospital, which is currently running on generator supply. Health New Zealand says a backup battery kept critical systems running. Transpower's Mark Ryle says 2 circuits went out overnight and the third tripped at 7:45am. He told Kerry Woodham 2 circuits are back working, but warns today's weather could cause more problems.
We'll be working really hard to stay in front of it and hopefully nothing like this will happen again, but there is that risk and there obviously could also be damage in the distribution networks that might affect consumers.
Further north, many flights, Cook Strait ferry sailings and Wellington trains are cancelled. Regional Emergency Management's Daniel Neely says people should avoid travelling.
Think about what you would have to do if there was no power in your house, if that affects you in certain ways, and just make a plan for that right now.
Outdoor fires are banned in Canterbury, Marlborough, South Canterbury and Wellington as crews still battle blazes in Kaikoura and Hawke's Bay. A large vegetation fire has also broken out at Hanma Springs. Waimakariri Mayor Dan Gordon says he's heard reports of people breaking bans.
Look, I just really say to people, please think of others and don't be selfish and don't be stupid. This is not a time for that because that represents severe risk.
To other news, tens of thousands of education and healthcare workers are demanding change as they step out for today's mega strike. The ferocious weathers force some pickets to move indoors and rallies are cancelled in Wellington, Queenstown, Nelson and Canterbury. NZEI's Liam Rutherford says this strike is about more than just pay.
We've got a current shortage on the Ministry of Education's own books of 1,250 teachers. Schools are so desperate that they're having to go and apply for special dispensation to use untrained teachers.
Meanwhile, Education Minister Erica Stanford says schools like Manarewa Intermediate are open, but you wouldn't hear about it.
That there are a lot of principals and a lot of teachers who are working today, who are not striking, but in fact the media doesn't call on them for comment.
To sport. Retiring Kiwis halfback Kieran Foran is returning to where his NRL playing career began, in an assistant coaching role with Manly. The Blues have found a replacement for Leinster-bound Rico Ioane next Super Rugby season. Peter Aki returns from France. Jofra Archer is unavailable for England's first one-day cricket international against New Zealand on Sunday at Mount Mauganui's Bay Oval. Chelsea, Liverpool, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid have had Champions League football wins. Tottenham and Monaco contested a scoreless draw. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.